I'm Nathan Huguley. I was born to a pair of seminary graduates. I was born in Mississippi, and that's where my mom's family is from. But I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee. When I was in seventh grade, we hired a new youth minister. I really wanted to impress him. I basically took everything he was saying as gospel truth, hook, line, and sinker. Basically, I turned into a fundamentalist for the rest of middle school and high school and first couple years of college as well. It wasn't until my life kind of fell apart around me that I realized that my fundamentalism, I would certainly classify myself as a fundamentalist back then. My fundamentalism was not up to the task of giving me the tools that I needed to make sense of my life. But the moment that my life fell apart was when my faith maturity started happening. And I left the church for about a year. I didn't stop believing in God or anything, but I just didn't want to be around church. And I stumbled accidentally into a couple of elective classes in my undergraduate work. One was in Christian ethics, and the other was in spiritual formation. But I found in those classes a theology that was way healthier. In the spiritual formation class, I was exposed to contemplative spirituality, which was a way of doing spirituality that was unfamiliar to me, to say the least, and it fit with my personality type. Whereas that first youth minister told me that introverts can't be Christians because they don't want to share the gospel. This was an affirmation of who God created me to be, and a way to take steps forward, in developing my faith and developing my spiritual practice. And so actually came back to organized religion via the Catholic Church. I ended up joining the Catholic student organization at my undergrad. And I very much appreciate that sojourn that I made into a different way of doing Christianity. Even though I decided not to be confirmed, I have a much more generous outlook when it comes to other parts of the Christian tradition as well as other religious traditions. I ended up at Central Seminary as a Master of Divinity student. I was thinking that I was going to seminary to become a military chaplain. I was getting really into monastic spirituality, so monks, nuns, particularly Benedictine. So again, with the Catholic stuff, I was pretty sure that I wanted to commit in that direction. I was pondering that when Julia, who's now my wife, wrote me a letter in the snail mail. We had met each other years before. And so I had to kind of take stock again of, knowing I was at a fork, right? Which one of these paths is going to do a better job of forming me into the person that I think I was created to be? Which one's going to do a better job of teaching me humility? For me, faith is not a set of doctrines that I adhere to. Faith is not a prayer I prayed when I was 8 years old before I got dunked. Faith to me is a lived experience. It is an orientation to life that says, I don't know what the next step is going to hold. I don't know what is necessarily down the road for me, but I'm going to trust in something higher than myself, bigger than myself, and I'm going to commit to that trust. That it's not going to be a fickle thing.